Complexity versus OG and a best-of-3 series to decide Group D. I'm God's bring me as Kyle.
Hi, Kyle.
Hi. Hi, Kyle.
Yeah, so we were just talking about it, but I loved the third pick Bat from OG. They picked a Batten in their opener to kind of cover it. You know, you're not ever going to pick Bat Rider into that hero. Then they take it third, and it's this cool concept where, like, okay, you got Wyvern Lesh thinking, oh, shit, they picked Bat. We got to get Omni to sort of address it. Oh, no, now there's an Anti-Mage, and the last pick, Pugna. So this hero that Cole takes with their 22nd selection is like, it has to deal with, like, everything, right? It's terrible, actually, against Bat Rider. And the cool thing that OG does with the Bat Pango is that they can play it on their 3, their 4, their 5. So now all of a sudden the Bat is the core, Pango's the 4, and you've got this excellent scenario where Bat can just run over this Terrorblade lane.
They are going to be running a core Lesh track. This was something the panel thought, you know, maybe a little bit unlikely because of the Pugna being in the game, but I think they just have damage issues if they ran a core Sand King with a core Omni. Like, I think the Lesh at least gives them damage, and at some point you can get a BKB if you need.
And I think you're actually better off playing core Lesh at times against the AM Pugna, simply because you don't really use too much mana early on. It's mostly Stun Edict. You also have a stun that will land through AM's Spell Shield. And in addition, at some point, as you said, you can get BKB, you can get Hex, Atos is quite nice. You can just play a different sort of style, and I like it here. And you needed damage, to your point. And the TB Lesh combination is one of my favorites. You take these like Lycan, Terrorblade type heroes, tons of building pressure, combo with Lesh, and you could theoretically have 6 towers dead in 5 minutes if you're not careful.
Well, we'll see if Complexity can kind of get that snowball going. They are going to be running Miracle's TB down in the bottom lane. Jerax, the 4, kind of laning here as he waits for Seb to arrive. Seb making the long walk from top lane as OG look to make sure they get the lane matchups they want.
And this is key. And it's nice that they leave Jerax here, so it's not as if they're going to lose one wave hard. But Bat must play against Terrorblade. That is the whole point of this pick here and why they made it a core.
Yep. Abaddon is low on health and mana. We'll be looking for that miscoil deny. As he's popping a Clarity for now. We'll see him probably try and get that deny off either on a creep or something. Z-Freak knows this, and that's one of the things. Playing against stunners is Abaddon, you have to be a little bit careful to make sure you actually deny yourself, and he is going to catch Z-Freak going for this pull and just spam that miscall maybe a couple more times to get himself down nice and low. He's using on neutrals here.
He gets the R2, gets 2 creeps. Well played by Hotel.
Yeah, pulls him back, and we'll stop those from getting pulled away as we get an early bit of creep manipulation here, and it will be Omni Knight making the long walk from top to bottom. So similar thing coming from Complexity, where they know if they TP monkeys down bottom, then OG can just match the TPs. Whoever TPs first essentially is going to lose that lane trade. As we'll see Seb actually go aggressive here with Jerax going with the swashbuckle here and the Metamorph wearing off. They're actually going to be able to maybe bring down Miracle. Seb does not have Firefly, but still comes close to getting a kill, but may get punished because Omni Knight showing up soon, gets the Splinter Blast to hit, and with the Arctic Burn, Seb is done for. First blood goes to Monkeys, who is suddenly in bottom lane.
I'm surprised they didn't kill skill Flame Break there, unless he leveled up like as he was being committing the chase, but there were so many stacks on Terrorblade. I think he dies for sure. Unfortunate. It's okay, though. However, Seb's got to be careful. He can't TP in right away, and he will, and now I believe Miracle, he's just, all right, I'll go top, thank you. Yep, and that's exactly it. He sees the TP. All right, I'll TP back. I think Seb made a miscue there. He had to do the long walk because otherwise it just becomes so simple for the TP to counter the lane pressure.
And it sucks. Like, you're already under leveled. Like, he was only just barely level 2, doesn't have farm, but you're still going to Pango there. Like, it's not like the farm and experience is being completely lost, like in an empty lane.
Exactly.
But let's see. Now, yeah, Complexity gets the lanes they want. With that said, AM, you know, is free farming, and this is a great AM game. So I don't think OG are going to feel like getting the wrong lanes is disastrous for their game plan right now.
Yeah, I like this, though. Look at mid. He's so low already, and Seb, like, they should know he's missing. He wants to walk top. Would have loved to get a kill on Lesh, but Limp is aware something's going on here.
Yep. And with the Abaddon miscall spam from behind is playing aggressive on Z-Freak here. Going to blink in forward, but with the Sandstorm in play, they cannot kill him off.
I like the Orb of Venom picked up on Ana, because you want to increase your ability to trade hits and be aggressive, because all No-Tail provides, as we just saw, is that sustain. You can spam his spells, but you are the one that needs to be aggressive. You must try and get as many attacks off as possible, and it's just the most value item on AM against 2 melee.
Yeah, exactly. He's laying against 2 melee. It's such a big part of that, and it guarantees you get more mana break hits in as well, which makes your lane even easier. Can he catch up Limp here? He's going to decrypt in a couple of seconds. He's not going to go for the chase. I think realizing he maybe overcommits if he goes too aggressive there. Thompson very familiar with playing Pugna. He's played this hero a lot. As Limp will find himself a haste rune.
Denies it from Thompson, and you can see the difference where Thompson rushes his bottle. Limp, of course, going to finish the null, thus does not have that advantage, and Thompson was able to win those last couple waves, but now forced not to go to base, but has to play a bit more defensively. Z-Freak is off map, going top again to pull creeps, it appears. Yep. As now Miracle's doing the long walk bottom because Seb, and Seb's just chasing him. Like this is what you'd expect.
Yeah, he's preemptively left the lane. I thought it was maybe just trying to set up to get some bounty runes or something, but no, he's just...
to your point, though, Jarex can be the offlaner. He's a Pangolier, you know? Yeah, he's a 4, but we've seen Yapzor do this. Like, you can become a core just by sitting in the lane. It's not as if monkeys can force him completely out of XP range.
Yeah, and yeah, the Bat Rider's kind of struggling to get anything, but the exchange's TB is struggling.
Exactly.
So you think of all these heroes that aren't having a good game, and TB having a bad game with this complexity draft where they've got no real carry outside of TB is a big problem. AM 28-14.
Exactly. Yep.
TB 12-2.
And some trouble. Well, luckily the Bat's still only level 2, but yeah, you're making the perfect point, which is that Ana is hard free farming, and Seb is trading his own game to deal with miracles, and that's key. You need Terrorblade to go off to win this game. Z-Freak in some trouble. Is there a sentry somewhere? Need to get dusted? Yeah. Well played. And there's nothing he could do. And Orb of Venom, as you said, no stun. So even if he starts walking away, Ana's going to be able to keep pace. And looking very good for OG. I was telling you this before the series, but I had a notebook with all my strats and stuff for most of my career. And starting in like 2012 playing Han, you know what I put on the title of that notebook?
I do, you just told me.
Yeah, Ban Anti-Mage. Ban Anti-Mage. And I switched to Dota. We were in for like 6 months, and I realized, you know what, guys? I've made mistakes. We need to be doing this. And
Ban Anti-Mage.
It's just the kryptonite. No matter who's playing on the roster.
Complexity doesn't deal well with Anti-Mage, apparently.
Sure.
Thompson going to turn around the bit of mid-pressure. But
if he got the stun there, I think he dies, but he juked.
So, no tell. Gets another deny off. Z-Freak comes in with a Sandstorm. Just, he's level 2. Going to try and keep some of these neutrals inside it to get some farm for himself.
And he's come over and try and steal, I think. Yep.
And is not having any of it. But Z-Freak uses... The Burrow Strike needs to be careful if Abaddon comes back with that dust, and Ana looking to get as many of these last hits as possible, and we'll get the last couple of big ones there. His game looking very solid right now. Back at mid, the Split Earth's going to stop Thompson from killing off 3-4-3, and now the chase is on. Limp with the level 6 is just burning down Thompson. He's getting lower mana, but he will be able to find the kill, and he's looking for a second, but without that Split Earth landing, will not find it.
Perfect rune, Arcane. Only reason he had the mana to get enough spells off to finish Thompson. And there's the other concern. OG, they love doing this, where you stack a ton of cleanse mechanics with damage reduction and the hard pick off of a Bat Rider. So like it's just so hard to kill Thompson when you have shields to peel. You can counter initiate with the Pangolier roll through. You can decrypt somebody. You can lasso a BKB. Like there's just so many methods of these OG heroes to help out their allies. Yep. Whereas Cole, how do you actually find those kills right away?
Well, the solution to the lane swapping should be okay here. The dust is on the Abaddon, who's not there. He's at mid. But yeah, Cole's solution to the lane stage has been to jungle the TB. Similarly, Bat Rider has also been jungling from what I've seen. So interesting, way to play Dota. You don't see junglers too often, but this is essentially... TB started jungling at like level 2, maybe level 3. He's now hit level 5. He's got double Wraith Bands. He's maxing the illusion. This is the old, TB's level 1 jungle used to be a thing in the old days, and you would max these illusions and get a couple of Wraith Bands just like this, back when Iron Talon was in the game.
Usually it's like level 4, 2 or 3 Wraith Bands when you can look to go jungle pretty effectively. Obviously this game is chased a bit by Bat, but Seb, this is cool. OG, Thompson just chasing after Z-Freak to allow Seb to recover some levels in the mid lane. It's a very nice movement. They're going to chase him down. Both
teams' 4 positions are getting a lot of farm this game because of the nature of the lane swaps, and Sand King is doing well here, but needs to find an escape here, and it's going to be Ana getting the last hit. That is not what you want to see. And it's back in the bottom lane. Jarex has hit level 6, so Rolling Thunder comes into play. It looks like he's using it somewhat defensively to try and get away from a complexity rotation. It's Limp's Leshrac. Can he get the kill on Seb? The Splinter Blast, not quite enough damage. Seb gets to the shrine. He's healing up. He needs to get out of this one. Back to the low ground. He's going to barely escape. The Firefly ends at the perfect time. He manages to just get away from Monkeys, who did hit him with a level 4 purification, but couldn't quite bring him down.
Concern for Cole's just got to be, when you think OG, you think Ana. Oh, hold up.
Yeah, that was Seb coming back in with a salve and some miscoils. He's continuing to slow down Limp, and now Jarek to the swashbuckles could be able to get this kill. The Firefly's there. Oh, barely enough to keep him alive for now, but he is still going to go down. Seb getting the kill with the Firefly damage, and Seb now looking for more. He wants 3-4-3, who doesn't really have a good escape for this one. Nothing to splinter blast off, and he's just getting burned to pieces. The Firefly does end, luckily for him, and he's going to look for a deny, but with the miscoil, no chance to do so.
Yeah, that was a very poor decision to cold embrace the Leshrac there. And yeah, you kept him alive for a bit, but I'm pretty sure Limp can just do the walk away. They weren't going to be able to catch him. It's unfortunate, and he just had to sit there and accept his demise. Look at the net worth on Limp as well. My goodness, this is not good. This is not good for Complexity, because I'll be honest, Monkey's hero is irrelevant in their win condition. It's about him playing around the Lesh, around the TB, and those heroes are suffering. Seb somehow ahead of both cores in net worth.
Yeah, I mean, partly is those kills, but the fact he didn't have a lane this game and is the higher farm than 2 of the Complexity cores is a big problem. Bounty runes are going to spawn, and it's going to be Complexity grabbing the 2 top while OG gets bottom. It did look like they were trying to step on this anti-mage, which would be such a big kill to get at this stage. His AM is absolutely free farming out of control. And it just feels like, oop, mid lane. There's going to be a Sunder. Miracle keeps himself alive a little bit longer, but Jerks is there with the Rolling Thunder, and that Wyvern heal comes in too late against the life drain.
It's knock it out. I think it saves him even if it's in time there. They're just continuing to pressure. Topson won't get the last hit.
Oh, he gets the silence though. Oh, the swashbuckle silence on Topson. He's actually running forward. He feels confident enough that he can stay alive with the Abaddon behind him. It's true. He gets the tower lesson. He's willing to die for it. Probably going to say that's worth it, but Notel may pay for the price himself. Gets hit by the Split Earth. That heals him up a little bit, but he's stunned, and OG will lose 2 mid. Get themselves the tier 1 tower. Topson really wanted that tower.
Yeah, and I think you're fine with this because it's OG, right? Who they care about Anna. Anna's free farming.
And that's money for Anna.
Yeah, it's all good. You know, you realize that, look, we've slowed down the enemy cores that can actually make moves and impact the map. Our AM is having the dream start. And like this is not just that, but they love playing Dota this way. They're a 1-4 team. You know, that's why when Anna came back, the fans went crazy, because this is the guy that feels like they play around absolutely the best, going back to different rosters and different types of majors.
Yeah, I mean, OG's been through quite a few roster iterations, and there has not been this 4 Protect 1 style has only worked with Anna, and then if you go further back with Miracle,
yep.
And a lot of the other players they've tried haven't worked to the same success.
It wasn't like they were bad players, just
Resolution. I mean, yeah, Resolution. Like, these guys are all like star players in their own time on different teams, but they just didn't fit the OG model. Yeah. So your lasso into Rolling Thunder. There's going to be a cold embrace.
What is that? Adam, what? How many times? It doesn't do anything to stop magic damage.
It does not. Adam knows that, but you know, he thinks he can perhaps out-heal the magic damage, but that is not the case.
No, it is not.
And
dude, AM more than double the Terrorblade's net worth at 12 minutes into the game.
For the top 5 net worth on the OG side. I mean, Leshrac and Pango are kind of neck and neck, but that is a terrible sign, as we're about to see a 12-minute Battle Fury. He's about 200 gold short of it. That's a pretty good sign.
Decent.
I saw Arteezy have a, I think, 12-minute Battle Fury in his AM game. I don't
Who
think
was he playing? In that game, who's he playing?
Was
again?
it Complexity? PG Complexity were in the same group.
Yeah, yeah.
Or was that the second series they played against OG?
No, it was the first game of the tournament against Complexity. They just hit him with the last pick AM. Or sorry, same situation here.
Cole losing to AM.
Yeah,
apparently it's becoming a bit iconic.
I mean, they have a better last pick. Against EG, they went Kunkka 10th. This game, they went Terrorblade. But unfortunately, when he has a game like this, it doesn't matter what hero he is. The nice ult comes out.
Nothing followed up, and the Rolling Thunder is going to look to kind of split this one up a bit, and with the Abaddon to back him up, Topson is still full health, but now the shield ending and the damage is starting to come on through. There's a GA as well to help them out. Topson's just trying to life drain his way through this one. Limp getting a little bit low here. No Child still trying to save him, but unsuccessful as Limp gets a double kill. Good news, they get the kills. Bad news, this fella's still farming.
Yep. Looks like they get top tower off that play. Indeed, they did.
I mean, TB kind of has to farm in the jungle, but you're bottom 5 in net worth. 3.7k net worth on TB, 7.5 on AM, and yeah, you mentioned double.
Yeah, but it's more importantly, I think AM has that farming item online that starts accelerating him exponentially, whereas TB is still in that more linear phase of his progression.
That gold breakdown, the AM with like 4,000 gold farm from lane creeps and the TB just 1,000. That is very telling of the state of this game. With that said, AM is starting to catch up in neutrals and ancients, but that's only come since getting the Battle Fury. I imagine he was like a quarter of that before the Battle Fury was online.
I think the story so far as well is just the Jarek's Pango. Only fourth on his team in net worth, but his game impact has been super high. And you can see every time Wyvern's going to ult, Sand King stuns in, he'll just roll forwards to counter-initiate and no-tell. Yeah, like they lose 2 there, but they're getting towers, and more importantly, they're making space.
I love that Spirit Vessel build he's got queued up against all the heals on the complexity side.
Z-Freak is going to rush the Blink. No, I do agree. I think the Spirit Vessel is just an item concept is strong. It's just so good. I think it's underrated. And the cool thing is, if I'm not mistaken, when you Omni W somebody and you increase their status resist, it means the Spirit Vessel ticks will just come faster, right? And you'll just take a lot of damage.
The same amount of damage quicker.
Yeah, in like 3 less seconds. So it's also limiting the regen during the durations. Very nice pickup, and it's a key. Someone needed it, and Jarek's is really the only one that can get it.
Complexity have done a good job securing these bounty runes, consistently getting at least 2 of them on a part of the map where they converge with a lot of heroes. AM did sneak in behind. It looks like he's going to try and find the Winter Wyvern here, but and will be forced to retreat. Ghost coming out on the Batrider, trying to stop Seb's advance, but it's immediately responded with by Jarek's. The Rolling Thunder coming through, catching absolutely everyone. I don't think OG want to actually take this fight. It looks like they're just using it to help get the Batrider out safely, and Jarek's knows, you know, he can roll his way out of there and swashbuckle it too.
Yeah, and catch a look at the other lanes real quick. See where the creep waves are? You got Ana pushing mid into the tier 2, Pugna of Thompson pushing bottom into the tier 2, Cole constantly on the back foot because they just don't have the wave clear to deal with these cores of OG, and they can't catch them without heavily committing as 4 at least.
That was, I think, 5 Complexity Heroes top. In a 5v3, they killed nobody, and now that they TP to deal with mid and bottom, OG immediately think, okay, maybe we can find a kill here, but may just be Thompson going for a solo kill of sorts, but Z-Freak understanding his hero's limits will not get caught out or punished by that one.
It's well played though. You can see it's just about buying space, buying time, annoying Complexity. They don't need to find kills. They just want to ensure that they limit the damage they're able to do around the map, keep the map presence high, and try and just ensure their cores are always able to farm map.
I mean, Thompson there is a little bit exposed. Like a Sand King stun into a TP could theoretically kill him. He just knows that if they do that, like the Batrider Penguin will respond by getting a kill top, or the AM's free farming. So him dying there wouldn't even be that bad.
Yeah, and it's just the prep from OG. I think they're one of the best teams in Dota with time to create some sort of battle plan. Only they were writers for Game of Thrones, but that's a whole other story that I'm not going to get into right now. The 3-4-5, like the bat, you need to address if you're Complexity. Then the AM, you have to address if you're Complexity. The last pick Pugna. It's just each one of these heroes drastically change the game state, and it all starts because of the Abaddon, which covers they can't draft on Complexity. Now, hold up.
It covers the mid lane. They actually bypass him. They realize they don't want to go on Abaddon, but he's going to be there to shield off Seb, heal him back up, and No-Tails just turn this gank around. He's completely covered them from the blink reveal of the Sand King, and instead it's Z-Freak, who just picked up a blink and smoke, who's going down instead. He's meant to be the one finding these kills, and it may not just be him. Luckily, there's a Winter's Curse to stop the Pengo roll in. One of the reasons why they picked this Winter Wyvern against the Pengo, but ultimately it just covers the retreat. It doesn't actually amount to anything for gold.
Now, do keep in mind, though, it's a 5k gold lead for OG, but it's all on Ana. And he's
an anti-mage, though, Kyle. I think that's what you want if you're OG.
But you know, Ana might make some mistakes. He's only won a TI and I think 3 majors. 2 majors. It's not like he's won 2 TIs or anything like that. So it's possible he makes a couple egregious mistakes there. Oh, double stun from Z-Freak. That'll be 2 kills.
I mean, we've seen Z-Freak Sand King now for a couple of games. He is very good with these 2-man stuns.
And Miracle's back in it. If you look at the net worth, like, they're climbing the charts. You do have to be careful because, sure, your aim is super ahead, but he needs to transition into helping his team pretty soon. Probably after the next item upcoming, though. With Manta, you are strong.
Well, he may look to help now with this Metamorph ending. Would be at least what I would like to see. Meta's down. This TP is no longer you're not afraid of him as much. And you can burn his mana, stop the Sunder from coming into play. Yep, maybe something he wants to consider. And yeah, he's immediately comes mid. I think OG know, like, okay, Meta's down, time to fight. This is a really strong point for us. They've got the Blink and Boots of Travel on the Bat Rider, so they've got the initiation, and yeah, they are pressing forward with Anna's anti-mage.
Yeah, and this is cool. Where Anna's not like looking to initiate; he's just farming in the vicinity, and this is how you want to play if you're OG. Just sort of flow with your anti-mage. Let him continue farming as much as possible.
Pretend he's not there as well. So it's like maybe Complexity will take a fight thinking AM's not there, and then suddenly, oh hey, anti-mage is actually here to clean up.
Yep. Big on the run. You can see Seb just playing so aggressive. The Blink reveal comes out.
A very short lasso because the Heavenly Grace and a great Winter's Curse is going to stop any more pressure coming. I think Cole know they can't take this fight. They have to just get out with minimal losses, but what are those minimal losses going to be? You've got to imagine it's going to be Z-Freak here. He's juking and jiving. He gets to the trees. Oh my god. Wow. Some absolutely fantastic moves and talent being shown from the Complexity 4 position player.
I know him. He's my friend.
He's spent a little bit time with him, I think, growing up. Yeah.
Only a few decades. Oh, hang on. Limp on the pursuit. That blank stun in from Z-Freak. He's going to get the no-tail ult pop to cleanse, but look at the damage. You can't fight under the Netherward as Limp. He's not even using mana moving forwards. It's got to die before he starts casting spells. There he goes. Should be able to find No-Tail here, who's trying to deny himself and does successfully.
Perfectly, and with the Rolling Thunder bouncing around between this mid lane, Jarex finds the perfect place to do this. He wants Limp with the Spirit Vessel, is going to manage to finish off the kill despite the GA, and AM has rocked up for this one. Doesn't have a great Mana Void target immediately. We'll be looking for a blink in again soon, but Complexity have covered their retreat pretty well. They're sticking together, and well, that's a 2-position Leshrac going down for nothing.
Yep. Oh, this is cool. I like this from Anna. He's going to go for the Linken's build. Against Sand King, against Sunder, against Wyvern. If you think about it, there's really no way to cancel this unless somebody buys an item to do so. And even then, when you have that extra frame necessary to puncture the Linkens, it's far easier for Ana to get off the counterspell in time to reflect anything that would potentially be able to lock him down.
Yeah. And the instant single target disables is something that you can't reliably spell shield off, so here we go.
A 7k lead. It's crazy how this lead continues to grow. It was 4 just a moment ago. It looks like
it's
OG
just growing with the
rebound.
AM. He was continuing to double the TB's farm, and that, like you say, that gold lead is just the AM's farm. You make him even with the TB, it's an even game, but end of the day, that's your one position. That's Ana, who's doubling, so you're not worried about where that farm distribution is, and oh my gosh, he is so far ahead of the average anti-mage this patch. Partly because I don't think we've seen anti-mage do particularly well in this patch as a hero.
Yeah. Oh, let's Basher first. All right, I'm down with it. Linken's is cool, but it wouldn't help them find kills, and it's like he doesn't need it for survivability at the moment because there's just no way for him to die unless he makes a huge mistake. Seb constantly playing fast around the map with the bots, always holding dust, so there's really nothing Zebra can do here to survive.
There is some rotations from OG to back this one up. It should be a solo kill. Seb starts running away before he even finishes them off, and we'll see mid lane. Ana a little bit alone, but he is unkillable at this point, I would say. Well, with Sand King dead, he's 100% unkillable because there's just not enough control to burst him down. There's Ana with a haste rune. This is a very useful rune for an anti-mage to have. Okay, kind of missed the reflection too. Miracle was hoping to catch the anti-mage and burn some of his mana with that one, but
I just wanted to bash. 4 hits, nothing. And he'll just look to probably continue accelerating. And that's, again, how OG likes to play. They smoked there. They look for the window as Ana moves forwards, but once it's no longer a possibility, you retreat a bit, continue playing around your AM, continue growing your lead. Roshan, probably your next move, but you want to fight first. You at least have to get the cooldowns used from Cole. You don't want to be caught in the pit with Wyvern ult and TB meta available.
They may find themselves in that pit as they've managed to at least get most of these lanes fairly pushed out. Complexity have smoked up, though. They may be doing just that and finding their way to contest OG's Roshan. And it's such a hard hero to deal with right now, but from Complexity, they've got that blink initiation from a Sand King here. Seb's going scouting, knowing that he may need a pop a smoke here. He's going to find the Wyvern, gets vision of him. Popping the smoke, Seb making this a whole lot safer for OG now that they know what's going on, but they also realize it's not entirely safe. They need to get themselves slightly out of the pit. Nice 4-star use. That's a fresh pickup. Perhaps something Complexity weren't expecting as he gets himself back to safety here. Jarex in all sorts of trouble. Doesn't get the Rolling Thunder up. The stick charges are there, but the Abaddon not in position to save him. No-Tail was actually caught by the Winter's Curse. That's kind of what stopped him from getting there. So Complexity commit a lot. They kill a Pengo, who immediately buys back, knowing that he's a support and his buyback can secure this Roche.
They got the meta, though, and you can see, like, OG, they lost a hero, sure. He had buyback available, but you notice they're not willing to commit as 5. When complexity get near, it's about baiting the spells. They got Winter's Curse, they got meta, so you can just chill, make sure you don't get reinitiated on, although No-Tail.
And he does not have ultimate. He used that in the last fight. No-Tail gets the shield off. He's barely still alive. Lip wants to chase him down, but will not do so because Abaddon denies himself. But that's now 30 seconds without him. Problem is, this meta's wearing off and complexity cannot go into that Roshan pit. And with meta down, we may just see OG.
And the thing is, like, AM, this is a weird game. I don't think Cole is as behind as Anna's lead would make it appear, just because of the nature of how these fights are going to go. Because there's no one on OG that's comfortable frontlining. They've got great pickoff. They can save one another, but AM's not this Medusa-type hero that kind of just walks forward and you play around. He's got to play safe because there is a ton of disable on Cole. And with meta up, Miracle does do a ton of DPS. And well played by Seb. Breaks the smoke. No sneaking Roche for you, folks. And Z-Freak. He broke the lasso. Same frame.
Gets himself out of there. Or was it just the Heavenly Grace even? Either way, Guardian Angel comes out as we're going to see Winter Wyvern getting brought fairly low here. Anna gets incredibly low himself, forced to blink out defensively. He was almost out of mana entirely. Wyvern does end up hitting the deck as Jerax wants some more. Aggressive Spirit Vessel being used on that Sand King. He's going to try and hide himself in the Sandstorm. Anna goes blinking back in, brings down Miracle's Terrorblade before he can get a chance to use that Sunder with that Bash, and he's not done. Anna goes blinking in with the shield here. He's just got so much sustain. He was so low not long ago, but No-Tail with the support play, able just to keep Anna going, keep him fighting. And there's the OG Classic, the friendly tips. They remind Anna that you're doing a great job. Keep on hitting those creeps, and now keep helping us hit these heroes.
That was a really cool fight. Anna, that's why he's one of the best players in the world. They have a ward on the high ground, so he had a vision of Miracle and just blinked in, got the bash, immediate mana void, and once TB dies, there is no hope for Cole. That was a fight without meta. They did a good job kiting around, looking for an opportunity, trying to keep OG out of the Roche pit, but it's just like that one opportunity. Anna's been waiting for it and waiting for it. As you said, even though he got so low, he was not able to finish the kills complexity once you run out of stuns, and he'll always be able to reinitiate considering the amount of sustain on his team. Meta is available, but that was a big one. 5 for 0 and Roche. Oof.
And now he's completed that Abyssal Blade, so being able to no longer have to rely on getting a bash when he blinks in. So if he can find anybody, he's going to have a lot of instant burst potential with that Abyssal Manta.
Yeah, checking on the items. I think everybody on OG is playing quite well. Definitely looks a bit better than they did yesterday, where they drowed Fnatic twice and then got rocked by EG. This time,
they had a close game 1 against EG, right?
Close-ish.
Yeah. Anna had a really rough series, I remember. His troll game.
Troll was really rough.
But this game, Anna just not being contested at all and getting to highlight what he can do as a farmer. I think, almost taking a page from EG's book, because that was the series where Arteezy, I think, died once in the 2 games. He had like a 12-0 game, then a 17-1 game.
52-14, I think, on the day. Decent. Yeah. For someone that's never won a major. Ana, however, looking to close this one out. I like what OG is doing. You see, they always want to cut those 2 waves. You just pull him to the AM, you have to, and just ensure that he's able to farm as much as possible. Now you just move towards top. Seb has found Limp, and I don't think there's any way for him to escape if Seb is going to continue this pursuit. Like, he knows he's there. Limp knows he's there, and there's just nothing he can do about it.
Yeah, with the AM coming in, that's the real big problem here. And it doesn't immediately blink. He's going to go catch him now. Gets the blink stun, and easy peasy.
It's so easy. Cut 2 waves, sweep to the other side of the map.
Yep.
Cut these 2 waves, top and mid, sweep to the other side of the map, and punish complexity as they try desperately to keep waves out of their base.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing the best they can. Especially, I feel like Z-Freak's played very well, keeping these lanes pushed. I mean, often paying for it with his life, but I think he recognizes, he's kind of put his body on the line sometimes to buy his team some time to catch up, particularly the TB, who, is on par with 2 of the 3 OG cores, but not the 3rd. Even close to the 3rd.
Not again.
Abyssal, yeah, and that's going to burn his mana very quickly. There's Nominate to back him up, but the problem is Miracle, I don't think he has any way to get his mana back, but there is a try. Maybe that's the way. His Jerax comes swooping on in as well here. Miracle doesn't need to go for a Sunder GTA. He's still got a decent amount of health here. So they're going to switch targets, go for the Omni Knight instead. The Guardian Angel. going to keep Monkeys alive a little bit longer, but No Tail's going to go for the body blocks. Anna looking for that bash, not going to find it right away, and Monkey's still kind of juking them. He jukes another blink, but this time around the Flame Break will push him back into Anna, and No Tail will say that's my kill.
It's just such a hard game for Cole. You just can't find kills. That's the problem. As long as there's a save, really, No Tail's a bad one. Who, unsung hero, there was a moment of the game I was going to comment, he just had the perfect items. No boots, dust, smoke, ward, sentry, magic wand. Yep. And he's just been playing behind his cores the entire game. Cole's all about the stun train, and he's there every time to interrupt and ensure that his core is going to be able to escape unscathed.
Yeah, maybe something they took away from the last series, because it was the same thing in that last BO3. All these stuns. Thompson, he's going to get caught out, playing deep in the enemy jungle alone. Perhaps not expecting Complexity to be so aggressive with Omni Knight down, but it pays off, and they themselves down a man, but it does look like they are more than interested in fighting. They're going to go in with the Anti-Mage Abyssal Blade, take out Z-Freak, and they're also going to get a lasso catch. That's on the TB, and the Omni Knight is not really there to save the day, but it's the Winter Wyvern with the Winter's Curse instead on the AM, going to buy some time for Miracle, but time is all he's got, as he will still end up going down. And Monkeys came in to save him, and I think he's just going to pay for this with his life. The Rolling Thunder's there, and it looks like Complexity are just getting picked apart one by one. It's 343 who's managed to at least avoid getting caught up by Jarex.
Yep, and I believe that's their opportunity to walk into base, get at least a tier 3 here.
Hey, they're getting bounty runes on Cole. They got all
there you go.
Oh, I got 3. I thought they were going to get all 4. But, you're getting high grounded, so not really something to celebrate.
Yeah. Lincoln's on the way for Ana. He's going to get even harder to kill. Or really just stop, let alone kill, but just stop him from killing us.
I don't think he's someone you're even trying to kill. You're just trying to ignore him and kill the others. As Jarex will finish off 343 with the shield crash. And Tier 3 tower should be going down. We'll see if OG want to commit to the high ground here with 4 of the 5 Complexity heroes back alive. They may just want to back off for shrines. We've got a couple members mid. They're not quite grouped up, but they are also in a position where they can reset things a bit.
And you can see Seb continuing to catch the mid wave. OG doing a great job of this. You want to pressure as many lanes as possible. They're going to have all 3 on the Cole side of the map as soon as top looks to catch up. And I expect them to just go kill the shrine, kill top wave, the tower. You can see them draw the circle. That's the area of the map that both sides are going to look to contest here. You got to keep Dire out of your Radiant top triple camp. And as Cole, I'm just not certain how you do that. You look at the net worth of Ana. He's still twice the net worth of anyone else in this game. And Seb, what a rise from a roaming no lane 3 position to suddenly top 2 net worth. And he's really had a fantastic game, all things considered. He's been a part of so many kills, constantly hunting the Cole heroes, trying to split push, tons of space for his friendly anti-mage. Well done in general.
I mean, this is to me, like, when I consider Seb in his playstyle, this is him at his best when he's on these heroes that can control the tempo. I think he, for me, more than like Thompson, is the tempo controller.
Well, he is the primary shot caller, and it's a lot easier to do that when you're one of 2 things as an offlaner: the primary initiator or the hero with the big cooldown team fight spells, as he also loves to play the mag, the tide, etc.
Yep. We're going to see initiation. Anna's just not a hero you can go in at this stage of the game. They're going to try their darndest to do so. Instead, it's going to get turned around. They want this Omni Knight. He's been kept alive a little bit by the Cold Embrace, but he's still going to go down. And Miracle needs to be careful. He gets deleted with the Rolling Thunder popping on top of him, and he can buy back, but he won't have Metamorph for this one. Anna's just going blinking onto the high ground, knowing that he's got all this backup from No Tail's Abaddon. He's getting the stun shielded off of him, and a couple of buybacks later, it does look like OG are going to be forced back. Jarex, he's got that swashbuckle to help him escape, and then Jarex, who was on the enemy high ground, doesn't go down.
It's another just well-played fight by OG. They're just getting further and further ahead, progressively building their advantage to just an insurmountable lead. At some point, you'll kill somebody without buyback, and you'll have all your spells off cooldown. You'll be ready to rock and roll. Love this pickup even from Seb. He recognizes something I wish more teams did, which is you should always, always, always have a Vlad's. And so he picks it up. There's nothing else he really needs.
Yeah, it's like, who else is going to buy on your team? Theoretically, Pengo might be able to, but I think he's prioritizing more those utility initiation items. Actually getting Lotus Orbs.
Yeah, more cleanse.
Prioritized, so, God, talk about something that just deals with Complexity's lamp so well. These, single target disables that can be reflected and cleansed off is a big problem.
And it's just OG really reading the games. They were obviously watching Cole play the last series. They recognize, look, they're probably going to Lesh Sand King. And I feel like they almost baited them into it in a sense, where they recognized that the stun trains, the constant combinations, Cole able to play with pace around the map was a big part of why they were able to beat Fnatic. And OG, like, they just, you can't fight into this lineup. You've never been able to. Ana's going to find a kill on Wyvern, Lasso on Monkeys, he has no buyback, he's dead again.
That's more or less the game at this point. They cannot defend in a 5v3 against an anti-mage who is essentially 2 or 3 heroes in himself. They're going to go on TB. He's dead without buyback, and Complexity will be chased back to their fountain and probably chased into typing those 2 magical letters. There they are. GG is called, and Complexity get dismantled in game 1.
Yeah, I think you must ban Pangolier. When you look at OG and you consider that they can play it on, I believe, 3 different players. No-Tail probably could if he had the opportunity to do so, which is doubtful because it's just a better 2-3-4. You can't give it away because you're going into the draft not knowing what it is. It's first picked and it gives no information, and you can see